We back!
Yeah, we are.
We back, baby. From the
Summer's
summer.
over?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we're back.
Y'all thought we were done. Nah, we back.
Another season, baby. Let's go.
Yes, sir. Set apart season 2. Let's get it! Yeah. Yes, sir. What is up, guys? We are here to make sure that you become more set apart in Christ and not conform to the world. Tell him, Luan.
Yes, sir. This is what we do. This is what we're aiming for. Just walk alongside you guys to point you to Christ and kind of, just see what it means to be set apart. That's what we do. And we're back, baby.
Let's go.
Let's go.
For sure. Yeah, man. We are back, bro. We're so excited. We're so excited to be back, man. It's been a while. We missed y'all, bro.
Yes, sir. Wait, should we introduce ourselves again?
I guess we should.
I guess
we should, yeah, because we might have some new people.
Hopefully.
Man, I'm Zhane. I'm Zhane Rodriguez. I am a student here at Liberty University. Yeah, I'm a brown-skinned Puerto Rican. You already know.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm Luan. I'm not gonna give the whole the federal description.
The light skin.
I'm not light skin
talk. I know, but it's the energy, bro.
Oh, I guess. I'm Luan. Souza. I'm Brazilian, and I'm also a student here at Liberty. And yeah, that's all I have.
Represent. Let's go.
Let's go. Yeah. Well, welcome, guys. We're so glad you're here. Welcome back, dude.
So excited,
let's go.
Man. So excited,
Let's go.
Bro.
We're back from summer.
Yeah. How was your summer?
Dude, it was good, man. I was up in upstate New York. I was in Rochester.
Let's go.
Which was sick. I was working with the church there, Northridge.
I know most of this stuff. I'm just going to act like I don't know it, all right? Go ahead, Luan.
Well, yeah, so I was up there. I was working with the church. If they got anybody here watching this or listening to this, probably not, but hey, they were awesome. I was working there. I was doing some hands-on ministry with Northridge. Got to do some church planting stuff, youth ministry stuff. Got to preach, which was cool.
Yeah.
For the youth ministry there. Met some amazing people.
Hype.
It was just awesome. I think the Lord was doing a lot of really, really cool things, and it literally went way above everything I kind of expected for the summer. I feel like I grew a lot in every single area of my life, personally, spiritually and stuff. I think coming out of the summer, I feel genuinely ready for so many things. I feel like the Lord has made me a better man, a better man of God in the span of 3 months that we were away. And it was just sick, dude.
About that, yeah.
Yeah, it was awesome. Really excited. But glad to be back. But how's your summer? Again, not that I don't know about it. But.
Yeah, man. We were literally on opposite ends of the U.S., so I was down in Florida. But it was great, man. I mean, I went back. I was working a lot. I was grinding, bro, 45 hours a week, which honestly, I mean, for people work more than that. But
yeah, that's true.
just for a summer. But I was detailing cars a lot. Car dealership back there. I've been doing that forever, bro. It's just I know how to do it well, and
that's good.
It's very flexible. I enjoy it though. Love the guys there. We've been working together forever, so it's good. And then I was doing an internship at my church back in Florida, Action Church, shout out. And I loved it. I was helping out with the creative team a lot and doing some graphics. Got to meet the team. I helped with actually doing our church's first podcast, which is kind of wild.
That's cool.
So that was awesome. Yeah, man, a lot of little things in between. I have to share, bro. I went to Switzerland,
you gotta
bro.
share that. That was sick.
I went to Switzerland, bro. It was anytime anybody hypes it up, or anytime you see a picture and you're like, nah, yes, it's like that, bro. I don't even want to have. Y'all just look it up.
Yeah.
Just look it up, bro.
It was crazy. And I was getting the photos for those of you
yeah.
That might be skeptical about it. I got the photos from it. I was
yeah.
Dude, that place is sick. It's dude, it doesn't seem real. And then one of the things that Zhane said that was super funny, he was bro, I feel like heaven is going to be like this. I'm I hope so. It looks sick.
Bro, no, real talk though. It was the first time where I was not the first time, because I've been to nice beach destinations or whatever, but just being in a place that different and that beautiful and that far away from home, I was bro, I literally feel like I am on in heaven right now. I don't know, it was just wild. all the people were super nice. Like, it was just perfect. Anyways,
Yep.
y'all ain't here to hear about that.
Yeah.
But
And that's the thing, like, I guess kind of moving forward with that, it's like, when exactly did you get back to the U.S. after the trip?
I left. I was on the plane on July 4th.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And then you had to get back here?
I was there for about 10 days. So I think I got back like the 15th or something like that, 14th.
Okay. And you were home for a while until you got back here, or what?
Are you saying like from Switzerland to Liberty? Or
well,
what?
After you got home, you were there for how many days until you had to get back here?
July to it was like I think it was like 3 weeks or something.
Okay.
So it wasn't that long.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. Kind of like, well, for me it was a little different because I was in New York until I want to say July 29th.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the day I left. Maybe the 30th.
Yeah.
Which was a Monday. Yeah. So I left on the 30th. I was home for like a little less than a week, and then we had to get back here for like training and stuff. That's what it was.
I think we had to be here like, I don't know, bro. I'm gonna mess it up. Anyways, RSs and RAs, we have to get here like a week early to school, so we left like earlier than everybody else. But it was cool
with like training and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, no, I enjoy it here.
Yeah,
so.
no, it's good. But I guess that's kind of how things played out, and that's, I guess, one of the things we wanted to tackle today.
Yeah,
which is cool. Because like coming from, well, we left here last year in May, and then, well, this year, but I mean like last school year,
right.
in May, and then went into the summer, did all those things, and you had a trip, and then work, and then internship, and I had the internship, all those things, and we came to Liberty, and I guess with all those things, it's one of the things that's been really heavy, and I guess present in my life, and things I'm thinking through and walking people through. It's just that like idea of like transition.
Yeah.
And like, you know, people are starting school, people are moving back to college, and maybe starting a new job, and you know, it's just something that's really important, like the idea of transitioning.
Yeah.
And like transitioning well. And like, how has that been for you? Like that whole transition situation.
Yeah. Excuse me, hold up. Sorry, bro. Golly. Getting over this campus cold. But man, the transition has been, it's been rigorous, I would say.
Good word.
But I think with the help of like teamwork and like just balancing stuff, I've been able to do it well, I believe, and just like relying on God every single day, just because like, sorry guys, the lights just went out in this room. We're good though. But just like with the help of God, like I had to get up every single day and be like, God, like I need you today. Like I'm not feeling good. Like I'm sick and I got to move all these guys in and like just blah, 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 all these kinds of things. But I think that through that, God strengthened me. And, and you know, man, I've already been having so much fun with the guys here. Yeah. Like it's so blast. Good. Like it's just been good as far as that. And, yeah, like personal issues, like I've seen so much freedom and stuff to where like those things don't hold me back as much as they used to and stuff. And so the more I've been having to rely on him, bro, the better it's been. So just focusing on that. But it's been good just like logistically too. And it's been really busy. But I love it. I love just like being able to accomplish the task and like do it well. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I've liked it. How about you?
Yeah. I mean, I guess it's the same because like like I mentioned a few times, it's like coming from the internship itself. And it was interesting because it was my first time being in a place where I genuinely didn't know anybody. And like I was living by myself. Like I had some like roommates and stuff. We all shared a house. I had two guys living with me, which was like a lot of fun. But I came from a place of like kind of living by myself and having to do all those things by myself. Like I had to go buy like groceries for my house, which is like weird. You know what I mean? Like make my own food and all those things that were kind of different. So like I was already in a process of like transition while I was living there, which was really cool because like I mentioned a few minutes ago, like I feel like the Lord was already preparing me for many, many things. And then jumping back to Liberty, which is a different environment, it's a different like reality. I felt like in most parts of my life I was ready for it. Right. But at the same time, it was just like, oh, dang, like this is different. Like it's a different world. It's a different environment. Yeah. And of course, like I felt it with like all the RS stuff that we have to do, like training and and all these things that you have to attend, and we have to put the guys through like training, like the CGLs that we have, which are like community group leaders that we have on the hall. So I oversee those guys. So because of that, I have to walk them through training, and then we have to interview new guys for the position. So a lot of things are going on.
Yeah.
And also, like, I just want to like have a little moment to complain about some stuff.
Go ahead, bro.
Brother, I'm reading like 14 books at this moment. It's wild. I'm losing my mind.
Bro,
So,
these divinity majors.
Yeah,
are
it's
different,
crazy.
bro.
So for you guys to think that, becoming a pastor is light work, it's not. And I can attest to that.
Bro,
It's great.
It's boot camp.
Yeah, it's wild. I mean, I'm loving it though. Like, I can't say I don't like the work, but it's like busy work, I would say. But yeah, so the transition has been just that, like trusting the Lord with all these new things, and I guess just being sensitive and aware of what it is that He wants me to do and what He wants me not to do, I guess.
Right.
So the transition has been tough, has been interesting, but very rewarding, I would say. Because just in these like past 4 weeks that we've been here, I feel like I've already learned a lot of things. I've already like grown in some ways. So it's been really cool. It's been really enjoyable. And it's important. Like, it's a thing that I've been thinking through a lot. I think, like I said, as I was doing my things over the summer, I feel like the Lord was teaching me a lot about like transitions and like things that we must do in transition. And I think it's the main topic of our conversation today, like the importance of transitioning well.
Yeah.
And it's like Zhane and I, we're both coming up on our last year of school,
Yeah.
which is
basically.
kind of crazy. I graduate in May. Zhane has what, a year and a half?
I'll be here for a semester after he is, and then I'm out.
Yeah, which is crazy. And it's wild because like we get back here and we're like thinking about what's next, and like, oh yeah, I want to graduate, got jobs kind of lined up for after school and all that kind of stuff. And the thing that's on my like mind like multiple times a day even is like, dude, I want to finish well. Like, I want to get to those places. I want to graduate. I want to get to the jobs that the Lord has for me and all those things.
Yeah.
And like the importance of like making that transition now, like the things that I can do now in order for me to get to those places. Like, you want to address that a little bit?
Yeah, man. Gosh, I think that starting something is so easy. Like, you know what I mean? Like, whether that's like a New Year's resolution or like going into like a new school year, like it's so easy to just like start something and like have the vision, you know what I mean? But actually carrying it out and like having the disciplines and like doing it even when you don't want to and when it's hard and when you're like, oh my gosh, bro, it's a lot. But I think that it's possible, and I think that it takes a lot of work, but I think that it's very rewarding.
Yeah.
And we're gonna go into that a little deeper, but I think that it takes disciplines and it takes a lot of rest too.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of the double-edged sword we're going at today on how to attack transitioning is basically just a lot of disciplines and then a lot of rest. So getting the best of both worlds in a way.
Yeah, for sure. And that's the thing, again, like going to the whole idea that a lot of people that, well, most people that would watch this podcast, I guess, would be like our age in a way. Some younger, some older, but it's just that like a lot of people are just going through transitions right now. Like, people are going back to school, like I said, and some other people are starting jobs and just going through stuff, man. Like, life sometimes just hits and seasons change and new things are happening. And like the importance of like being intentional about your transition, like, because I feel like a lot of times we just tend to go with the flow. I think it's like a very predominant thing in culture today.
Right.
Like, you usually get both ends of the spectrum. It's like you either have to have everything planned out, and that's something that culture kind of appraises in a way, but at the same time a lot of other people also prioritize and value the idea of like, just go with the flow, just let things happen. And I think it's like it's important that us, especially like as believers, as Christians, like we need to learn to be proactive with the things that we want to do and not just like reacting to it. You know what I mean? So I guess like a great way to just start it off is the importance of like discipline. I think you're like I've said this multiple times here on the podcast, like when it comes to discipline, like you're one of the guys that I really look up to in that way. Just like being disciplined and like being like committed to things and actually carrying those things out. So let's talk about that, like discipline, like what does that look like, things that we can do.
Yeah, so I'm basically David Goggins. No, I'm just playing, bro.
All right.
No, I'm just playing. No, yeah, discipline is something that I highly value in my life, and that's because like I know the me that like ends up becoming when I don't have disciplines.
Good.
I'm a potato chip if I don't have disciplines, mentally, physically, spiritually, like all around. And so I think that honestly, like the biggest thing that has helped me and helped like so many people could probably tell you this, is that just starting with small disciplines.
Yeah.
Like my goal has been to read the Bible like front to back. Like that's something, I mean, like, Christian, shameless, whatever. Like, but that's just like been one of my goals for about almost 2 years now. Like, and so I'm in Jeremiah currently, and I've been reading like 2 chapters a day for like a while, like a year and a half now. And there's been days I miss, but like 95% of the time, I'll make sure to do that. And like just starting with that, like waking up a little earlier, or like stuff that it doesn't necessarily have to be like what a lot of people would what's the word I'm looking for? Like consider it like a goal. It could be like, let me like remember to like wash my face like before I leave, or like every morning I wake up, like let me make sure I brush my teeth before I leave so I don't got no like dragon breath, you know what I mean? And I think the smaller you start, the easier it is going to be to work from there, because I think the less like the goal that you make, the less space that you leave for excuse, the easier it is to accomplish. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
One of the things I've been trying my best to do this year, for the most part I've been doing well, is at least like bare minimum 3 days a week I have to work out for like 20 minutes. Yeah. And I know that you're like, bro, 20 minutes? Exactly, 20 minutes. So if I don't, then I know that I'm just being lazy. And like I have to do that, or else I'm like, bro, this is the bottom of the barrel. Like I gotta do better. And like everybody has 20 minutes for 3 days out of the week. You know what I mean? So it's just stuff like that, like setting the bar so low at first that you kind of can't fail. And if you do, then, I think it's good to like bring in accountability and stuff like that, or from the start. But, if you need it, then you need it.
Yeah, for sure. And that's the thing, like starting small. I think a lot of people like diminish that. Like they always have these crazy goals and like, I want to become like the next like C-bum or something. You know what I'm saying?
Bro.
Like you want to become a bodybuilder.
Look that dude up, bro.
Don't do it. It's gonna make you sad. It happened to me. No, I'm joking. He's crazy. But aside from that, it's like we all have these things that we want to do. Like we want to get to places. We want to like achieve these crazy things. But like we always diminish the fact that, dude, all those things start small. Like no one just, well, unless you're born into like a rich family, like no one just wakes up one day is a millionaire. Right. You know what I mean? Like stuff happens. Like steps must be taken.
I mean, even then, it's not your money if you're the kid. You know what I mean?
That is true.
You still got to work for your own.
Right. So like there's small little things that we can do, and I think like that's a reality in my life now. I think even coming back to Liberty and my time that I had in New York, like those were things that I started to implement. Was the idea of like I want to wake up early, because I felt like I wasn't having as much time to read my Bible, and then because of that, like things were just getting out of place. I didn't have time to work out. I didn't have time to be with people. So I was like, all right, so I'm gonna start waking up at 5:30.
Right.
So then I would wake up, like the first few weeks was like, oh dude, they were dreadful. So then it was just like a matter of like starting like, these small disciplines and stuff. And another thing that I noticed that also helped me was like, before I would be like, all right, from this point on, I'm going to wake up at 5:30. I'm going to read my Bible for 45 minutes or whatever. And I'm going to do all these things. And from this point on, my life is going to be different. And I could never do it. And like, I would go like 3 days and then like, I would just give up. And then
folded.
Right. And things just like hard. And then like, I don't know what I was watching. I think it was a Craig Rochelle podcast.
Gotta be Craig.
And I was watching like one of his podcasts, I think. And then he was talking about like winning your daily battles and stuff. And that was like when things started to shift for me. I was like, all right, today I'm going to wake up at 5:30. Yeah. And today I'm going to read my Bible for 25 minutes. And today I'm going to go work out. And today I'm going to be intentional. And then the next day came and I'll be like, all right, I won the battle last night or yesterday or whatever. I'm going to do it again today.
Right.
So today I'm going to wake up at 5:30.
Right.
And then after a month, I look back, I'm like, I've been waking up at 5:30 for a month now.
Yeah.
I've read my Bible for 40 minutes for a month now.
Yeah.
And all it took was me taking small steps every day. And I think that's really what gets us into like intentional like disciplines and practices, because we start those disciplines like small, like you were saying. That I think that's crazy.
Yeah, I think that like one thing he's like Luan mentioned is like the daily battle.
Yeah.
Is that like if you wake up, so like let's say one day you end up just like doing all the things. You're like, all right, got it done. Thank you. The next day you wake up, like I doubt you're gonna wake up and you're like, man, I really regret like doing all those disciplines yesterday. Like I really regret like bettering myself yesterday. Like you're going to like you won't regret it. You know what I mean? In the moment, it's just like kind of what you got to deal with. And man, I've learned from a lot of people. Yeah. Like, I mean, I've talked about him before, but like my dad, he talk about discipline. Yeah. That dude is different.
He's crazy.
I don't know which episode it was, but I think I went into it a lot deeper. Anyways, yeah, like multi-time Ironman. He's Marine, like businessman.
Dog.
Very good at what like just like 100%er. It's like whatever he does, it's 100%. And you know I'm thankful for that. But that's just like surrounding yourself with people. Like obviously I didn't have a choice. He's my dad, but for you, like you can pick your friends or
that's good.
Mentors and stuff like that. Like, and even you know aside from my dad, I'm still around people that you know strive to be that way. So surrounding yourself with people that want to do the same stuff is going to make it so much easier.
Yeah, that's good.
But yeah, dude.
Yeah, for sure. And another thing, and again, it literally goes off of that because, like I said, I mention this all the time. It's not just because I want to like hype you up in front of people. I don't need to do that. But like one of the things that living with
Hey, bro. First of all, this man is mad disciplined too. All right, he be talking way too nice about me, bro. like he ain't disciplined or something, bro.
Yeah, right. Anyways, so because of that, and again, I get to live with Zhane again this year, which is kind of awesome. But a thing that I noticed is like the importance that you even put into like managing your time well. And it's the thing that like obviously I've been implementing in my life, especially as of now. Like I'm trying to manage my time, especially with the freaking 14 books I got to read. I got to manage my time well. Bro. So I'm doing all those things and like trying to make sure that I have enough time to do the things that I have to do. So like let's talk about that, like the importance of time management, especially as we're talking about like transitioning and stuff like that. Like how important it is to manage your time now to make sure that you transition well and like achieve the things that you're stepping into. Like let's talk about that.
So I gotta admit, this year I have not been doing this certain discipline as well, and I honestly, if I'm being honest, it's because I've gotten better at it, but I need to do it anyways just for like kind of a safety net. But last year, something I would do every single day is I had this little whiteboard, and every day or every night before I went to bed, I would write down like everything. So I'd be like, you know, from the top down, it'd be like Bible, gym, breakfast, whatever, like 9:50 a.m. Class, blah blah blah, and then like bookstore, gotta run this errand, and then blah 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 blah, and then like I could take a picture of it or just like kind of have it in my head mentally, and like there was never a time throughout my day where I was like wondering what I had to do next or like. You know what I mean? Because like I would even like do like which homework assignments am I going to do today, so that on Wednesday or Thursday I knock those out and I'm good. Like I just schedule it out so that like you schedule it out day by day so that by the time it hits Thursday you're not like, oh yeah, I got to do 1,000 things today. You know what I mean? Like because it's so easy to forget, man. Like we're so busy, like it's just so easy to forget little things. Like you're not a bad person for forgetting that you had to like go get a book for your class. But at the same time, like, if you continue to do that and you don't like, if you don't make a structure for any stuff like that, like in your life, then over time, like, you might just be a forgetful person. Like, I think the more, like, I use the reminder app on my phones, and honestly, that's been my version of it this year. Like, I use the reminder app on my phone so much, bro. And like, I'll just be like going throughout my day and I'll read the reminder pop up. I'm like, oh my gosh, thank God I put that down because I kind of would have forgot. So it's not necessarily that I'm a forgetful person, but I know I can forget. And like, over time, if you keep doing that, like your brain will naturally just be like, you know, what's next? And so you won't be forgetting as much. But so anyways, a planner essentially is what I'm saying. It has helped me a lot with time management personally, at least.
And that's the whole thing, like we mentioned about like intentionality and stuff. Like starting off things with the end goal in mind, I think is a thing that has helped me a lot. Like I'm already envisioning where I want to go, like what I want to achieve and the things I want to get to. But like as I'm processing through like what it is that I need to do to get there, I think it falls under like time management, like knowing when to do things, how to do things. And it's crazy because like over the summer, one of the pastors that I was under, I don't remember who it was. I think it was Noah. I could be wrong. But they were talking about this idea of like time, like how one of the biggest issues with people like nowadays, or one of the biggest complaints that people have is that like, oh, I don't have enough time.
Yeah.
Like they're always looking for things like, oh, I wish I could do that, but like I don't have enough time, or I wish I could like hang out with you, but my schedule is crazy. And then they said that like the thing is that we don't really need more time. We just need to learn to do more with the time that we do have.
Yep.
And I was like, that's legit. And that's kind of when I started this whole thing of like trying to be more intentional with my time and the things that I do and waking up early and all those things.
Yeah.
Because like at the end of the day, that's really what separates like successful people and unsuccessful people.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, like we all have 24 hours a day. But what you do with your 24 hours, it's completely different than what I may do with my 24 hours. But what you will do will determine how successful you're going to be.
Yep.
And it's really, really tough.
Yeah. Like your time is an investment.
Yes.
Like the way that you spend your time, like think of it like money. Like if you have, like whatever, you have 24 hours in a day. The way that you spend those, I mean, you're probably awake for 16 of them, but you know what I mean? The way that you spend those hours throughout your day, like is going to determine the fruit or like the harvest that you're gonna have down the road. So like if I spend just 15 minutes a day or 30 minutes a day reading my Bible and praying and stuff, which thankfully it's like grown over time, but exactly what I'm getting at. The more you invest, like the more it's going to grow. Like if you put a little bit of something, like if you put a little bit of money into a retirement account over time, it's going to keep building up and building up and building up. And eventually it's going to be like, you're going to grow exponentially and you're going to be like, whoa, how did this happen? And then you look back and you add up all those little 15, 30-minute increments. You're like, dude, I've spent like 5 weeks, like straight, just like if we want to measure it like that, I spent like 5 weeks straight praying and reading my Bible. Yeah. And like you look back and you've gained all these this knowledge about like the Bible, or you've gained, abs maybe, if that's your case, like whatever it is. You've gained better grades. You've gained, like a healthier relationship with a certain person. And it's all because of like the little increments in the way that you invest your time into things. You know what I mean? So don't invest your time poorly either, because if you put your, time in, metaphorically like a bad stock, then eventually it's going to go down and all the time that you spent is going to go to waste. And you're going to have to wait and like earn that back. You know what I mean? And so, I don't know why I just turned into the Wolf of Wall Street there, but anyways,
no, but that's legit though.
No, yeah. Like, just the way that you invest your time and, you're going to see it. And the thing that stinks, it's like, I'm going to acknowledge it stinks at first because you can't see the results. You know what I mean? Like you just can't see the results at first. And so that's why like you just have to start small, like we were talking about before.
For sure.
You know what I mean? So that you're going to be able to be like, all right, I see a little bit at right now at least. So I know over time it'll be better. And I don't think that you investing your time well, over time you'll look back and be like, man, I should have been looking at Instagram. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
that's good.
So that's
legit. And that's the thing, right? Like just thinking through like, yo, what am I spending my time with? Like, what are the things that I prioritize? Because like, that's the thing that also scared me. I think I read a research. I think it was a research, something like that people did about like, that they used the phones, like the report that you get at the end of the week, like
the screen time
or whatever. Right.
Yeah.
And then they used that to determine the things that were most like important in each person's life. I was weirded out. And then they were like, all right, let me go through the thing. And then they were like, all right, you spent like 4 hours this week on Instagram and like these whatever hours. And you're like, and because of that, I kind of can come to the assumption that you value like the way that people like perceive you.
Right.
And like, I can see that you value relationships because you spend a lot of time on like the phone or text. And I was like, yo, that's kind of wild. And that applies to this because like I feel like
True.
what you spend your time with would actually mean that you care about that thing. If you invest your time, which is something that like you don't get back, like you can't just go back and get the 24 hours that you spent on like Netflix for the past like 3 days or whatever. Like you can't go back and get those, but that shows me, or I guess it would show you that that's something that you prioritize.
Right.
That's something that you care for.
Right.
So it's so important that like we come, especially again, going back to the whole idea of transitioning, that we think through like, yo, what am I spending time with? Like, what am I investing my time in to get to those goals that I have, to get to those plans that I have, to these seasons that, I want to step into.
Right.
Because then if you're investing your time well, you'll make sure that when you get to those moments, like, not just that you're ready for it, but like, like you didn't miss anything out, or like you didn't waste it poorly.
Right. Like if there are two, like, let's just say just like a little, I don't know, an analogy story. Just hang with me here. All right. We have like two kids, right? And they are like just kids who live in the same state, same neighborhood, but they don't know each other, right? Mm-hmm. One kid has a successful or disciplined mindset, you know what I mean? And then the other one is just lazy. They have the same amount of resources, same amount of time in a day, same place they live in, all those kinds of things. What is going to separate like them? Like if they have all the same resources, it's their little disciplines. Like that one kid is going to start from a young age doing the right things. And honestly, we could have a kid who has a bad mindset in a good circumstance. He would probably do worse than a kid with a good mindset, like in a bad circumstance. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like a kid in a low income community with the right mindset, like has a very good chance of being just as successful as a kid in a good community with a bad mindset. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because like if one person is lazy, like bro, like it'll be the story about like the what is it called? The rabbit and the turtle where they're doing the race, and then the turtle the rabbit takes a nap because he's like, I'm about to beat this turtle in this race for sure. And he just like takes a nap, and then the turtle goes walking by right at the finish line and beats him. Well, he might have been born as a bunny. Sure, he was faster, but the turtle was like, I'm gonna just keep it moving. Yeah, I'm gonna just keep it moving. I know he's up there, but I'm gonna just keep it moving. And then he brought it like he got what he needed, and then the other guy is there still. He wakes up and the turtle's gone because he was lazy and he was like big headed or whatever. And so, you tell me if that was a good analogy, but I think it's good. I thought it was okay. All right,
I think it's good. Stop hating. Yeah, no, legit. Like I want to actually stick to that a little bit because like it's the idea. You mentioned it a little bit when you were talking about like. Wanting to see the results, and like that's how people give up. And I think that's exactly it. Like even goes back to the time situation, or to the discipline thing that we're talking about here. It's just like the matter of like, yo, keep going, like persevere. I think a lot of times like one of the biggest issues, especially with the people in our generation, is like they just stop. Like when things get hard or like uncomfortable and stuff like that. And I can't say like I'm not guilty of it, but it's just like a matter of like, I have these goals. I'm going to start these healthy disciplines that you guys are talking about. Great, I'm going to do it. After like 2 weeks when things get tough and like you're going through it and you're like, you know what? I don't see any results. Like I don't feel like I'm getting better. Like I ain't got no abs. Things are bad. Like, I just don't get, the results that I'm striving for. Yeah. I'm just going to stop. Yeah. And like, it's really important. And I think that like we must, like, just like you're saying about the little turtle situation, it's just like, yo, keep moving. Like you might not be the fastest guy. You might not be the smartest guy. You might not be the brightest guy on your team or whatever it is that you're doing, but like, yo, nothing really beats perseverance. Nothing really beats somebody that can be a hardworking guy that's going to show up every day, that's going to put in the work, even if he's not as successful, even if he's not as skilled as the other people.
Yeah. So there's actually, I just got reminded of this. There's this quote from actually Kevin Durant, like the NBA player. Guy. The quote is. Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's good.
If you're able to put in the manual work at all times and like you don't just rely on natural ability, bro, like when the time comes, like all that work that you've put in, that like even though you've had to work harder for it, like you're gonna like you will prevail. Like you will prevail. And this isn't about like, like prove them wrong, blah blah blah, like alpha male, alpha female. Like that's not what we're doing here. Like, but it is about like working hard, like as just as people. And, you know, to my, like, Christians listening, to Christians, like, we should be the hardest working people out there so that we can exemplify, like, what it looks like to, you know, like, and how Jesus can work through us. Like, oh, that dude used to be lazy. How is he hard working now? Like, Jesus. And so one thing I want to hit on is that in this transition, like, if you're relying on your own strength for any of this, guys, like, for any of the stuff that we've talked about, if you're relying on your own strength, like, you will get burnt out so quick and you'll quit. Like you will quit. Like, and I've been there. Like even as a Christian, I forgot about God, and I kind of left him behind. I was like, God, I got this right now, whatever. Nope. Yeah. And I've restarted 15 times. You know what I mean? And so until you really start like relying on Him, you get up every day like, God, like straight up, like I'm tired right now. Like it took me 20 minutes just to open my eyelids. Yeah. Like somebody put Gorilla Glue on when I was sleeping or something, bro. Like when you're that kind of tired, you just get up every morning and you just pray. Or you get down on your knees and you're like, Lord, I need you. I can't do it today. You need to help me. And He'll help you, and He will remind you of the things that He's spoken to you through you reading your word and praying to Him and just listening to Him throughout the day. Like He will help to encourage you. That's good. Maybe through that's through other people too. Like that's why you need to have good friends and blah blah blah. And so like just like nothing that we talk about will ever be like strictly in a box. Like you know like we've related this transition like in discipline, all that stuff, to like the mental health, the spiritual, the friends aspect, like all those kinds of things. Like it all ties into one another. That's why I kind of like love this podcast just overall, is just because like we continue to tie everything in together to like it all relates. It all comes in. Honestly, it all comes back to God and Jesus. Like He always does it somehow. You know what I mean? And I love it. But yeah.
And it's just like a holistic thing. I think that's a cool word that I learned. Just the whole idea of like, everything is kind of like just tied in together, and I think it's pretty awesome. Well,
sorry guys.
Okay.
Chair tweaking.
And I, dude, that's good. I don't even have anything to add to that. That's just really good stuff. But I think kind of following that train of thought, like the idea that, you know, especially as Christians and as we have placed our trust in the Lord and all those things, like things are different. Like the way that we flow, like the way that we live out our lives, like the way that we structure things are different. And I think following this whole talk of like discipline and like being intentional, I think a lot of things, and I love that we're going to talk about this because that's one of the things that I see you working a lot towards. Just like the importance of being like disciplined and intentional with your rest. Yeah, dude. And it's like really cool because like as we're talking about scheduling your time and doing all those things and you know, managing your time well and investing your time well, how important it is like, prioritize your rest, man. Like, dude, I just want just talk about it. Like, just, you know, talk about rest.
All right. Well, let me just start with this. If you don't prioritize rest along with all the other stuff that we talked about, you're gonna fail. Yeah. Like, rest is just as much of a discipline as getting up to work out. Yeah, man. Like, maybe even more, because there's gonna be a lot of small disciplines. But if you don't, like, half of the battle is just plain rest. And so if you don't have that, like, good luck. And I'm saying that from experience because, you know, like, the Sabbath for me now, just like here at Liberty, being an RA, like, there's a lot of, like, small responsibilities you have to do throughout the week. Whether that's, you know, like, reporting informational like IRs or intentional interactions or room checks or curfew or, you know, like cleanliness, talking to guys, hall events, like all these kinds of things. It builds up on top of being a student, like, you know, taking like 17 to 19 credits a semester and then having a girlfriend and like, it's just a lot. Like it's a lot. And I've only been able to do that through His help, like, and through the help of Jesus and the help of like God. But the Sabbath, let me just like talk about the Sabbath for a second. Like, first of all, it's a commandment. like, I don't, you know what I mean? We had a guy last year come to one of our
Bethke.
yeah, him. He came to convocation last year, and he talked about the Sabbath basically, and he said this thing. He's like, it's a commandment, and like I don't think like were any of the other commandments suggestions or, you know what I mean? And I was like, he's right. Like it's not a suggestion, bro. Like it's just as serious as like thou shalt not kill.
Yeah.
Like because. I mean, they all tie into one another. Like, if you don't rest, bro, you gonna kill somebody. Straight up, bro. If I don't rest,
I'm tired, bro.
If I don't rest, bro, you better not mess with me, bro. Straight up, better not be knocking on my door at 2 a.m., bro. About to get messed up. No, I'm kidding. But kind of not. So like, I prioritize like my Sundays. That's my Sabbath. Yeah. Like, no, it's so biblical. It just works best for me. Like, I mean, I don't have classes. I don't have to do homework. But basically, my Sabbath, what it looks like, if you guys are like wondering, like, what is that? What does that look like? And it looks different for different people. But for me, I wake up, I go to church, and I need to start serving again because I've gotten back and it's been so busy. But hopefully this week I'll serve again at my church. So I go to church and I serve, and then I'll, go and get food. I mean, hopefully that's like a quicker thing. You know what I mean? Like I love the occasional like go out to eat somewhere, but usually it's just like go back to the Liberty Cafe, get something real quick, then head back to the dorm. I take a nap. Usually like my naps don't play, boy. I'm in there for like 2-3 hours at least.
Yep.
And then I wake up and I just watch like movies or YouTube the whole day. Like that's it, bro, until I go to bed.
Yep.
And then this year I have curfew on Sundays, but that's not really a problem because I get like a fat nap. So I'm not really even that tired during curfews. Yeah. But that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. And like it's so nice because like here's the first thing. When I have that Sabbath, like when I wake up Monday, I'm not like, oh gosh, like, oh, Monday. Like I'm not like dying, you know what I mean? When I wake up Monday, I'm like, I bet,
right?
Let's go.
Yeah.
Why? Because I'm rested.
Right.
Because I'm not working to get to the weekend. I'm not working so I can get rest. I'm working out of it. Yeah, I'm working out of rest, bro. Like when I'm resting, like I'm building up all this energy and discipline and like all those things within me, so that when I wake up Monday, like I'm gonna hand it to him. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, and so, that's like, honestly, just the first thoughts that come to my mind when I think about the Sabbath, to me. What about you as far as Sabbath?
No, dude, that's so good. And yeah, that's exactly what it is. And like Sabbath straight up is just that, like intentional, like rest. Like putting intentionality to a moment that you're going to be like, you know what? I'm going to rest. I'm going to prioritize this moment. I'm going to rest. I'm going to be with the Lord. I'm going to, do things. And like you said, this can look differently to a lot of people.
Yeah.
Like for me personally, I think I also do mine on Sunday. It's just easier that way because like you go to church and it just feels right. I don't know. And I love the fact that like I can be rested.
It's also like just in America, it's kind of like set up to be
way,
Sunday
right?
in a way. Like everything closes earlier on Sunday.
Especially like, here in like Virginia.
Yeah. It's just like, it's just kind of set up that way.
For sure. So then like that looks differently for different people and stuff. So like for me, it's just usually on Sunday because we go to church and, we get to serve and all that, but we get back, we eat. And that's like, after that, man, it's just like take a nap, watch movies. And my thing personally is like usually on my rest days, I need to be around people still.
Yes, I agree.
Because like
I love to rest with people.
Yeah, because there's some people that need their moments of like, don't talk to me, I'm resting. Like close their doors and just put like some Christian lo-fi. Yeah, I've been hopping on the lo-fi now, dude.
I put them on.
Dude, I love the lo-fi. Yeah. Anyways, so I just do that sometimes and like, but again, I need to be with people. I need to be like with my guys. Like Zhane and I watch movies together, and then like we have some of the guys that live on the hall, and we just like sometimes watch a football game, and sometimes we just watch like a random thing on TV. But like, I need people. That's what like really helps me rest. I guess because like I'm an extrovert. Yeah. So like I need that. But again, that depends. It goes according to each person. But it's just that moment that I need to like reset. I think that's like the perfect thing that comes to my mind is like resetting. It's like, all right, I've been working this whole week. I've been doing a lot of things and things were crazy. But now Let me take a deep breath. Let
Yeah.
me bring those things before the Lord and just be like, all right, Lord, I'm going to rest. Let me, just take this moment. And then when Monday comes, like the next day comes, I wake up and I'm like, yo, let's go. I'm ready to go. I feel good.
Yeah.
I'm rested. Another week ahead. And again, like you mentioned, and I think that's a great picture, is like I'm not working for the weekend. I'm not hoping to get to a moment that I'm like, oh, I can't wait for Saturday when it's like
Right.
Tuesday. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like maybe when, we have a football game, I'm like, dude, I can't wait for Saturday. Or like
Oh,
when,
yeah.
when I have like a trip or something like that, I can't wait for like
Right.
that day.
No, that's fine.
That's great.
Yeah.
But like I'm saying in terms of like, I can't wait to finally rest.
Right.
I think like it's really important to like find moments that you're like intentionally slowing down and taking a breather. And I think especially in our culture, like you mentioned, like the American culture is set up in that way to like rest. But it's also like not. It's
Yeah.
really crazy how like if you just say to people like, dude, this is my day of rest, or like
Yeah.
I'm gonna rest, like I gotta take a moment to pause, like people can see you as lazy. Like, yo, like what? Like you gotta work, bro. Like you
Yeah.
gotta grind, you gotta go over things, like work 7 days a week, like
Yeah.
freaking Elon Musk, like
Yeah.
sleeping
Like-
4 hours a day or whatever he does.
Work, cookout, Sunday night football. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Just like it's, yeah. When like you're like you've been using your phone for a while and like it just starts like tweaking, bro. Like you're like, you're just like, bro, what is going on with my phone?
Yeah.
And then you just like do the power off, like
Yeah.
like you hold the button down
That's
and you
so good.
slide it off, and then like you turn it back on and it's like this thing kind of working smooth. You know what I mean?
That's
It's
such
like
a good analogy.
it's
That's so
essentially
good.
that. Like you just lay down and you do nothing, bro.
Yeah.
Like your phone, if it was a person in that moment, like it would be the nap it's taking. I mean, it gets sent to the 5th dimension. Like it's just like, bro, that thing is out.
Oh,
And
man.
that's how I'm trying to be on my Sundays, bro.
Yeah,
Like,
and that's what he does.
and like
I see
like
it.
Luan said, like I still enjoy, like I love to be around people on Sundays. Like, I need my nap. I need some alone time just to like chill and just like, like breathe. But then like, bro, I love to like just hang out with the homies at the dorm and like all watch a movie together, like chop it up. Like I love that. That's
It's so
restful
great.
to me. Like
Yeah.
I love that. And I don't necessarily think that there's, a problem with like isolating for periods of
Oh,
time.
no, yeah.
Especially on Sabbath. I think you need
Yeah.
that. But I think that like experiencing the Sabbath with other people like kind of makes it better in a way. Like I don't know, just like resting together is it just makes sense. Like
Yeah.
it's just nice
Yeah,
to do.
it is nice. And it's cool because you also like, especially when you have, because like everybody has a circle of people that are like close to like your inner circle. Like everybody has those people. And it's cool that like when you start doing those things, like when you start implementing that moment of rest and like intentionality with your rest, it seems as if like everybody starts buying in.
Yeah.
Like people are like, all right.
Like, bro, what are you doing? Like, why are you in PJs
Yeah.
at 3 p.m.? I'm
Right.
like, dog.
And then
I'm
later, and
chilling.
right. And at first you're like, that's weird. And then like next week comes, they're like, I'm going to do that too. And like
Yeah.
they come in and like, yo, okay, I guess
Yeah.
we're resting. And then Monday comes and they're like, bro, I feel so good. Why? Because everybody's collectively like resting. And it's
Yeah.
great. Like I feel like a lot of the guys in our hall are kind of like starting that too, which is really, really neat. And then again, it goes to the place of like, we're rested. Let's go with the week. Like let's get to work.
Yeah.
Let's do the things that we got to do.
Yeah. Just like another thing that I was thinking about as far as rest is like it is a discipline in a certain way because you have to like if there's certain things that you want to do on Sunday that like is not restful, you're gonna have to say no.
Oh, come on. That's
Like
good.
you're gonna have to be able to say no to that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, oh, bro, let's go play spike ball for like 2 hours. Like, sorry, bro.
Yeah.
I can't. I actually, that sounds good, right? Like beach volleyball, that sounds enjoyable right now. I'd like to do that, but I can't because I know if I don't, my rest will not be the same. And for some reason, when I wake up tomorrow, I'm not going to feel as rested, bro.
And that's a principle. I think it applies not just to rest. It's
Right.
something that like, again, many quotes that I'm citing today, and I have no idea who like actually said them, but like, it's just the fact of saying no to good things so you can say yes to better things. Whoever that is, you guys,
bro.
you killed it. That's a bar. Whoever
Come on,
said
bro.
that, or I don't know. Maybe I'll just claim it. Say it's mine.
you claim it.
Say no to good things so you can say yes to better things. Because there are a lot of things that are great, like you're saying. Hanging out and playing beach volleyball. That's awesome. But Monday is gonna come when I wake up at 5:30 to do my stuff.
Yeah.
brother, I'm gonna be dead.
Nah, bro.
I'm not gonna want to do
Still got
anything.
sand in between your toes. No, sir.
Right, all that kind of stuff, right? And like, let's take that out of the rest context for a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, all these other things, like, sure, I don't want to go too crazy, but my mind is making me say it.
Go ahead, bro.
Frick. All right, hanging out with your girlfriend at night.
Oh, yeah.
It's good.
No, yeah.
Right? It's great.
I agree, bro.
You want to say yes to it because it's a good thing.
Right.
But at the same time, you know how tough that could be for you.
Yeah.
Things could get out of place, whatever. So you're saying no to that, which could be a good thing because you want to say yes to being holy before the Lord. You know what I'm saying?
Bro.
You can say no to, like, again, hanging out with your friend. Like, dude, I love hanging out with you. It's great. We have a good time. We have fun. But me saying yes to hanging out with you is going to take away from my time with the Lord.
Right.
So I'm going to say no to hanging out with you so I can say yes to better things.
That's good,
You know what I mean?
That's
and I think
really
it's,
good.
like, really good to take that aside from the place of, like, rest.
Yeah.
Although I think it's important to leave that there because it's crucial. But, like, with everything that you're doing, it's like, yo, is this thing that I'm being offered? Is this thing that people are asking me to do? Is this thing that just appeared?
Yeah.
Is it, like, just good or is it, like, better?
Yeah.
Like, is it hindering me from getting to better places?
Yeah.
Is it taking the position of or the place of better things?
Yeah.
And I think it's, like, it's tough, but
Yeah, and it's just like there's people where it's be like they'll be like this guy back at my church. It's like he'll be like he's like a busy guy or whatever, and people ask him like, oh hey, like do you want to go do this? And he'll be like, yeah, but I can't. And they're like, oh okay. And then he'd be like, well, like what do you do in the meantime? He's like, nothing. and it's like wait, why? It's like 'cause I'm busy, and like if I don't have like breaks, if I'm always doing something, if I'm always saying yes to everything, just like yes, I'll do that, let's go, blah, blah. You're gonna be like, oh my gosh, bro, like I don't even enjoy doing this stuff anymore because I'm so like worked up all the time. I'm so like I need rest in the midst of when I should be having fun and when I should be like enjoying my friends' company. That it's like, bro, I don't even want to be around these people right now. And like when you like, so maybe like we start getting into more of the negative effects of like what happens when you don't have rest is like, bro, like you're gonna be more prone to like just acting out. Like something as small as like a like I don't know, like a discussion post or something like for school. Like you go on Canvas and like I don't know, you see a new assignment or something like that, and like in your brain you're just gonna be like, oh my gosh, like why? And you're like, whoa, like come on, calm down, bro. Like it's just another assignment. Like you got this. Right. And like we wonder, I'm like, why'd that happen? It's like because you're so worked up, and it's so much easier to like. You're just short fused. Like you're just short fused, and it's so much easier to get worked up when you don't have like rest. And so, and that may be like acting out on like onto other people, which is always terrible, which didn't ask for that. You know what I mean? Like just because you have to say yes to everything doesn't mean that they have to get your bad attitude because like you don't prioritize rest. You know what I mean? So yeah, dude, like it can cause you to like act out. It can cause you to get burnt out, just like angry. Like hurting others. And then another thing is like lacking passion. Like you can end up losing passion for stuff. Like, bro, if I didn't do Sundays, like if I didn't like do my Sabbath on Sundays and stuff, like there would be a day where I'm like, bro, like I don't even think I like podcasting anymore. Like there's like I don't even really want to like hang out with like my girlfriend anymore. I don't even think I like want to go watch a movie with the boys. Like you're just gonna lose like passion and enjoyment for things because you're just gonna get to the point where you're so short fused that the things that used to be your favorite, like it's just too much because everything is too much, whether it's good or bad now, because you're just at rock bottom. And like anything that affects you, anything that takes any kind of effort, whether it's like a good kind or a bad kind, like you're just gonna be like, nah, I don't want to. Like I just want to isolate. And then that turns into a whole nother thing. Like if you start isolating, like it just goes down this rabbit hole, man.
So much stuff that.
And like I think there's definitely people like listening that are like, yep, I know exactly what you're talking about, and I know what I'm talking about because I've been there. Like something just to remind you guys for like new listeners, like Luan and I, like our heart is not to just like get on here and like, let's mentor these people. Like bro, we're going through these things too. That's the whole heart behind this podcast is like. we're just the people with the mics. Like, sure, we might like have our head on our shoulders, but we're not perfect. Like we don't, like, our heart behind this is not to, like, mentor you guys, or like, just, we're not like pastors. We're not psychologists. You see, I obviously don't have a master's degree. But yeah, like, we just want to, like, be the friends that you want to have, like the friends that, you should have in your life. Like, we just want to be able to speak in that way. And so, like, yeah, like, I humbly say these things, right? Like, I don't think I'm better than anybody listening to this, bro. Like, there's so many times where, like, I've failed and failed and failed at every single thing we've talked about, bro. Everything we've talked about on this podcast, there's things I've failed. And so our heart is behind this, is like to help you guys not be us or how we were. You know what I mean?
And I guess kind of following that, I just want to say a little quick note to my people pleasers that might be listening to this. Because that's me. That's one of my traits that.
Talk to me.
I'm talking to myself as I say this, because again, it's something that's affected me. But it's okay to say no to people.
Yeah, man.
It's okay to not hang out with people. And like Zhane was saying, like you were saying, Zhane, about how out of our lack of rest,
right,
we act up towards other people, and we're being angry for no reason, and we're hurting others. Like, dude, say no to certain things. Say no to even hanging out with them, so you can be well rested, so you can love them better.
Right.
Learn to say no to things. And I know it sucks. I know you're gonna feel like everybody's gonna leave you, that the world hates you after you say no. It's fine. Go through it. Push through it, because it's not gonna happen.
Right.
And if that happens, they're not your real friend. So there you have it.
Yeah.
But dude, it's okay to be like, yo, dude, I love you. I really want to hang out with you. I really want to spend time with you, but I can't.
Yeah.
Why? Because if I go hang out with you, I'm probably going to be tired.
Right.
I'm going to get pissed off.
Right.
I'm going to curse you out, and then we're probably not going to be friends after that.
Right.
I do that because I know my limits.
Right.
Like, dude, legit, I feel like an old man now, but 10:30 hits. And you want to hang out, brother? Don't talk to me. Straight up.
Hey, he's got them 8:15s though. Yeah, that's I get
true,
it.
That's true. But 10:30's hitting, bro.
Yeah, bro.
It's not that I'm a douche. It's not I just I get easily angry or whatever. Because I'm not. I feel like I'm a really patient person. It's just dude, when I'm tired, bro, I don't think right. I can't process things right. I can get easily annoyed.
I need a Snickers. Straight up.
Right.
I don't even like them, but I need one.
Right. So, again, to all the people that, might have a tendency of, oh, I can't say no to these people. I can't say no to my friends. I just got to add them to my schedule. Bro, say no.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's okay. And I emphasize that again. It's okay.
And it's, and you can always be like, hey, listen. I can't right now because I need to prioritize rest.
Yeah.
But hey, on Thursday,
yeah,
that sounds great.
Yeah, when I'm rested.
Right. You don't have to just shut people out and be like, nope, I don't even want to hang out with you.
Right.
You know what I mean? You can let them know your heart behind it.
Yes.
And not just close them out, but just be like, hey, listen, trust me, I'm being the best friend I can to you right now by saying no. Because if I do, then next week you're not gonna like how I am. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And that's the thing. I just gotta add that because
go ahead.
I think it's important that the people that we keep close to us are people that actually care about our hearts.
Yeah.
People that care about our well-being, because a lot of people are great. They're fun to be with. They're great guys to go watch a football game with, and they're awesome.
Right.
But if they prioritize having certain things with you and certain moments with you, or having you do things for them or with them more than they care about you being good.
Right.
I just think it's important to check that. Just check that, because dude, a lot of times we invest a lot in people that don't invest enough.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's when we get frustrated. That's when we get hurt and stuff like that. So
yeah. And you think if you think that we're being strict, Luan can tell you a bit more about this, but look at Jewish tradition.
Yeah.
Bro, you think we're strict?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Their Sabbaths don't even sound good to me. That's how strict it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So not to be you have to be, you have to have on a full blown just crazy just stare at the wall. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, right.
not like that,
Yeah.
but
I think it's more of like a matter of like principle at the end
principle,
of the day.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a matter of principle. And I guess like you mentioned the Jewish tradition, it's interesting because like if you look back, even like the way that they like mark their calendars and like the way that they consider like days and nights and
Right.
stuff, like their days start with the nighttime. Like it starts during the nighttime.
Right.
So like they start their days off with rest. Like
Right.
the moment that their day actually starts, they're sleeping.
Right.
And I think it's cool. Like think about that. Like how cool it is that like that's how they start off.
Right.
Like all right, it's Thursday, let's go to sleep.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's really, really interesting. And again, I think it's a matter of principle. It's not just a matter of like, oh, you can't do anything because the Lord says so. That's not the thing about Sabbath. It's just a matter of like, yo, there's a principle behind it, and there's a lot of good and beneficial like things that come off of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's good.
That's fire, dude.
Yep.
Sick.
Yeah. So I guess just like going back to what we were saying, it's just like be intentional, man. Like I think the overarching thing about this whole talk that we're having is just like be intentional. Like don't just wait for things to happen. Like don't just go with the flow. And like this is something very I don't know, it annoys me. Cuz like I think the Christian thing a lot of times is just be like, "Oh man, I'm trusting God," you know what I mean? Like I have faith, man. I'm just trusting the Lord with this, you know, like this transition that I'm going through, like I'm just trusting God, you know, I'm not going to do anything about it. And I think it's like, I think that's so harmful.
So dumb.
Like you can still like, you can trust God and have a plan.
Right.
Like you can trust God and like work hard for your things.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like
you need to.
Yeah. And that's the thing.
know?
And this is like, again, it angers me because I see it.
Mm-hmm.
Like don't use your faith and like your hope in the Lord as an excuse to be lazy.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I trust that God is going to do something. So I'm not going to do anything.
Right.
And then nothing happens. And then you complain because you expected God to do something.
Yeah.
When at the end of the day, you're supposed to do something.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's
Go work hard.
Yeah.
Don't just go with the flow. Be intentional. Do your part.
Yeah. I think man, like I said, like Christians, we should be the hardest working people that like anybody knows. You know what I mean? Like they should notice us like by our work. Like Paul was like, you know, probably the greatest evangelist of all time. But he made tents. Like he worked hard and he was a tent maker. Like that's what he did. He just made tents all the time.
And I got traveled, bro. You
right. and he like so many people like in the Bible get noticed because of how well they like do their work. You know what I mean? Like Ruth, like she got noticed by like Boaz because she was she was a hard worker and like he noticed that like
take notes.
Right, like she worked her field and like she took care of business and you know didn't ask for. I mean, you can ask for help, but like you know didn't. You know, wasn't entitled to anything. She worked hard for what she wanted, and you know, I'm not trying to say this is exactly how you get like your mate, but I'm telling you that that's not a way that you don't.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like hard work will never be the reason that you don't find like you know the right person. But I mean that's a different podcast for a different time.
Another episode.
But yeah, just like anyways, like we should be the hardest working people that anybody knows. And I think that if we ever see other Christians that aren't working hard, that it's necessary to call them out and remind them of these things. Like, yo, how have you been doing with your Sabbath? Like, blah, 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 stuff like that.
I mean, the Bible says, right, like, do everything as unto the Lord.
Yeah.
Like, bro, with your work and with your rest and with your conversations and your jobs and whatever it is that you got to do, bro, do it with excellence.
Yeah.
I think that, like, like you're saying, it should mark the Christian life. Like, if you're a Christian, like, you should be excellent.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't mean you're going to be perfect.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean you're going to be the best. But in everything that you do, you're going to do your best.
Exactly.
Which is excellent.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like as you transition, whatever this season is for you, I know some people listening might, you know, go to Liberty. Maybe you're doing a work study. Maybe you're taking a lot of credits. Maybe you're on a sports team. Maybe you just got into a relationship. You're making new friends. You have a lot of responsibilities within, you know, hall leadership, whatever it is. Just for the just regardless of the season that you're walking through, all right, just like be intentional about it and make sure to step by step, day by day, start with your small goals, and from there you can work your way up.
Yeah.
And then make sure to prioritize your rest. And like, if you just keep going at it and you rely on God every single day within your transition, he's going to work through it, and you're going to look back and be like, wow. So yeah, like establish those healthy disciplines. Like set up your small goals. Use a planner if that's for you. Whatever you like. Reminder app. I think it's easier to write things down and see it though, and like have it in your room. I think that's just like a great way to do that. Like manage your time well, and then like work hard and rest hard. That's just period. That's it. Like that's what this is all about.
That's good.
And so yeah, basically like that's it. So I mean, Luan, any last words or anything?
That's it, man. Just work hard, rest hard, and do your part. That's it. That's
awesome.
all I got.
Control what you can control.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, guys, we're so excited to be back. Like, so excited we had our first episode again. Like,
dude, let's go.
Oh, it feels so good. So good to just say we're back. I love it. I love what we do. I love being able to just hang out with you guys, and just make this time for you guys so that we can, speak into the lives and just walk through this journey with you guys. We're so thankful that God has given us the opportunity to do this. So, make sure to follow our Instagram. It's at the setapart.podcast.
That's it.
Cool. Awesome. And then on YouTube, you can look up Set Apart with Zhane and Luan. That'll probably get you there fastest. Or you can just look up the Set Apart podcast, Set Apart Pod. We have the blue and red logo. It'll say it on there.
Yeah, if you go on the Instagram page, it should have all the links there.
Yeah, we have the link tree. So honestly, should have just started with that.
And I guess even like going off of that, like be tuned in, man. Like follow the Instagram, and like we're gonna be doing some cool stuff there. I mean, Zane is gonna do some artistic stuff.
Yeah, I know
that he does. So yeah, just be tuned in. Just check all those things out. Share it with your friends, and
like and subscribe. Put on that bell notification, just so you guys can be reminded of whenever we drop. Just a reminder, we drop on Mondays. This episode should be dropping on September 18th. So we're so excited that you guys got to listen to this, and share this. What else are we on? We're on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Like we said, it's all in the link tree.
Yeah.
So if you just go to our link tree on our Instagram at setapart.podcast, you can find all the rest there.
Yeah.
We'll be posting stuff with some graphics and all that for you guys.
For sure.
But,
and one last thing, like another thing that's there, we have a form. So if you'd like to come on, if you would like to be here with us and hang out and talk and have some cool conversations, and we have a little form there, just fill it out and we'll take a look at it, maybe reach out to you, and you can come and hang out with us.
Yeah, dude. So if there's anything you're like, dang, I really wish I really want to talk about this with like these guys, you can put it down and like put down your name, what's your story, all that kind of stuff, and then write what you want to talk about, and you could be on here and like we could just chop it up. So I'd love, like, I want to have a bunch of random people on. Like I just want to chop it up with you guys and get to know more people. So I'd love that. But yeah, follow, like, subscribe, all that. All right, I love you guys.
Love you guys.
We'll see you guys next week on Set Apart.